Okie dokie. Welcome back. So, we learned a little bit about zones yesterday. We're going to learn again. Pretty crazy day. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure my screen is working. Yeah, go ahead. Whenever you want, moron. It should be working. There we go. So, there we go. Okay, so this why do you do? Oh, I know why. I'm still logged in on the other one. So this 4-hour zone is still important. This is where we bounced out of today. We had a huge parabolic move. And still, look at the VP, guys. It stayed the same. No volume build down here. I'll show you the trades I took today. It was actually pretty good because I got locked out early. I don't think the lockout actually works as it's intended. But this was today, 19. Yeah, we formed a 1-hour zone that held for the open, and I got in pretty risky, you'll see. Just because there was a lot of risk, big downside. But I was thinking this was making higher lows above the lack of volume down here. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this is like where we're drawing the line in the sand, saying we're not interested anymore in the downside. And this zone was still here. So it was like inside this zone, and then there was this 1-hour zone that I drew out pre-market. I was aware of this zone. And this, I was done trading before it even got up to here. But it did bounce out of this zone, which I'll show you on ATAS, I think. Came down, wicked through the whole shits until before moving back up over the afternoon and into tonight. So I'm not going to be surprised at all if this continues up. There's a big area here with no volume right here, and a couple of supply zones. So let's keep moving down. Let's look at what we actually traded today. This was the first one. That was the first one, pre-market, 8:30. Got up pretty quick because I was aware of this big uptrend, but it did move down. And it moved straight down to, I actually tried to buy into this zone again. Not again, but into this lower time frame zone. And I wrote this down. You got to write stuff down like with your hands, guys. I wrote this down, that this 5-minute zone was had a little bit of a reaction. I bought there, but I got, here we go. I sold for a loss because this is the zone, dude. This is the zone right here. And at 9:30, we started freaking out, and then we just shot up from there. So I bought in during this candle and this one again when it closed outside the zone. I was looking at both the 5-minute and the 1 minute. And then after I bought, and there was some weird stuff going on. There was this huge wick. I wasn't sure. I didn't see any news, but it did wick straight down to, like, I almost moved my stop to the mid of 5-minute OR, but it was actually down here. So let's just say my stop was looking like this on my second contract. Jeez. So that was no joke. And a little risky, and really maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you buy in here. I bought in at 629, which is, so I bought in right here. I bought in above this candle, and then 656, which was up here. So kind of when it broke out. And then I sold again. Obviously the RR on this was not good. Like, that was the upside, that was the downside. Not good at all. But I was like, this has been a huge move already. Do I think this is going to hold? This has been a level for a while. And yeah, it did break and went crazy. This move from, let's say, this open, about 300 plus points, you know? But we came out with 168. So, nope. Yes, today was 168. So we're still positive. Remember, growth is not linear, okay? We are still positive. It's hard to believe that was 5 trades, really. Let's see it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I bought again. 5. Jesus. Yeah. So what you think of? I kind of think of this as like 1 or 2 trades, but that's really technically it's 5 trades. So let's just go through it. 833, 832. Let's also look at the VP on here. This was a key area. You can see the points of controls kind of stacked around here. There was big. That was that day. There was kind of a node up here too. And above this is like kind of a shelf, so that's kind of interesting. It's like a lack of volume and then big volume that causes this to dump. And then I think we opened inside value, right? Yeah, we opened inside yesterday's value. This value didn't move below yesterday's value. PLC stayed inside yesterday's value, and then, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's see what happened. Let's actually start here. 833. Right here. Right here. Right here. This is the 5-minute. So there was definitely some volume up here. And this was just a big fat move up that had very on thin volume. That was, that was where all the volume was. So they actually ended up not transacting up there. And there was these kind of stacked, this was interesting, stacked POCs too. Look at this. I mean, you can't even, what does that mean? You can't even read that. That's crazy. And then, yeah, why would I get out? There was some consolidation here. Yeah. 9:15. What did that look like? That doesn't seem right. But I guess it just doesn't look good from here, from this perspective. Just top wicks with a lot of volume on top. If that is to be believed, I don't know if we can trust these. It just doesn't look right. Let's see what happens if we replay this, though. Sorry if you have to sit here and watch this for a minute. Okay, today's data is not available. That is probably why that looks bad. Okay, well, you saw this, so I'm really curious what happened here. So maybe I'll wait a little bit and then come back and stream the rest of this when it is available. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. It is pretty early for, whatever I'd be doing. That's interesting, though. I just got pepper in my eyes. All right. Well, I'm not going to make you watch me figure it out. So, see ya. We are so back. Yeah, it just started working. So, what we're going to do is... I have Top Step on my other machine, so you're not going to see it. But you saw what we did, You already saw what was going on. So right now, kind of just... And there's a big bid right there. This is that first one. Here's that first entry. It's at 31. Just looks like a big consolidation of interest. Whatever. Rejected it with little volume, so that's where you sell. My stops just always feel so wide, And this freaked me out for a little bit, but this turned out okay. 916 is going to be our next stop.
Did you get that thing?
Wow, it's actually
down?
updating? That's crazy. Okay. Then this was an area that I wanted to cover, which, just comparing the amount of volume that happened here, this doesn't look like a ton of volume. And the big kahuna was down at 24,601. Really? Yeah, it was just down here. But no volume indicators really, except for this absorption. We did not come down there. Maybe we did. Let's see. I guess there's a bunch of consolidation in volume down here, I guess. That was interesting. But yeah, there's this volume and then there's this volume right here. Like, it's kind of silly to consider this. But we're getting some bid. Neither of these views seem very helpful. Let's see. Okay, interesting. So it's popping right out of the absorption that the bottom of this is marked at. And there's 933. Kind of just seems like a taper out of that absorption.
I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it.
And then I took it off here.
I got 5 on it.
Building volume up higher. It's good news for longs. Makes you wonder what the session VP looks like. Looks like a big taper. Yeah, that was crazy. Whatever that was. Obviously a ton of sell volume, and those guys end up getting stuck right here.
I got 5 on
But yeah, I was definitely concerned about this area. We're just seeing build and build up here. I was hoping it would move quicker. Built a little bit up there. You gotta shake the VP a little bit. Shake it like it's your baby. Just to keep it updating. There's something big going on here. But we're building above
Did you
it.
get that thing
And
oiled
those
down?
those red boys didn't push down, they pushed up. So it seems like people offsides. Maybe that's just because I've been reading offsides material. I don't really know. Yeah, I think we're not going to get much out of this. There's absorption up there. I would love to do the whole day, but I just don't have the energy to do it right now. So yeah, glad we could do this for you guys. Adios.